Hi there everyone, welcome back to the Boileau Family Law Group YouTube channel. My name is Trevor and this is Pierre Boileau. He is one of the founding members of the Boileau Family Law Group. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about the company's history, how long they've been going for and what they do best in the city of Edmonton as family lawyers. So Pierre, can you tell me how long has Boileau Family Law Group been operating?
We've been operating in the Edmonton area for 26 years now.
Wow. And then for yourself, how long have you been practicing family law?
I've been practicing family law 28 years and Marla has been practicing 35 years.
Oh, so you guys are the real deal. This isn't your first rodeo, not the first time out of the gate. You have helped thousands of people over the years with their family law issues.
Yeah, we've been at it for a long time.
That's awesome. Now, how did Boileau Family Law Group get started? What was that? Tell us that backstory.
Well, Marla had been practicing family law with a couple of other ladies back in early 1993, even prior to that in 1992. I had been working downtown with a sole practitioner doing a multitude of other things, and I just knew that that wasn't going to be a long-term situation for me, so started looking elsewhere. I think Marla and I connected initially, if I recall correctly. I think there was an ad that I saw perhaps at the courthouse. Marla and I met, and I met with the other ladies with whom Marla was practicing, and we thought that it would be a good fit. And in the end of January 1993, I joined Marla and these two other ladies, and very soon thereafter those two ladies went on to I'll say start their own firms, again different inceptions, but they went off, did their own thing, and then Marla and I have been together, practicing together since that time.
Wow, that's quite the story and quite a long time. You know, being partners, number one, having a business partnership that works is difficult, number one. Number two, you guys have been together longer than most marriages. Just saying. Just putting it out there.
We have, and we tell people that.
But next question is, what is your role in Boileau Family Law Group? What do you do there? What are your specialties?
I would say I'm kind of like the office chameleon in that I practice under the family law umbrella. I litigate, I mediate, I arbitrate, and I collaborate. So I can wear a number of different hats on any given day, and while sometimes that is challenging to figure out what my role is, what hat I'm going to work at on that given day, I think it's improved my ability to how I approach a file, regardless of whether it's a mediated file, collaborative file, or litigation file.
Right. So you're really a wealth of knowledge in the office as well. For any young lawyers who might join the team who need some help, assistance, or mentorship.
Absolutely, yeah. And I enjoy that. I enjoy providing some expertise, guidance based on my experience, and happy to provide mentorship. And over the years, I have learned a great deal of things from younger lawyers.
Fantastic. Now, have you always practiced family law? Was there any time you did something else, or has it always been what you wanted to do?
I have practiced in other areas. Early on, I did quite a mixed bag of things. I did some criminal law, I did some real estate law, corporate commercial law, wills and estates. That's probably the extent of it. Probably some other things here and there, but that would have been kind of like the big 3 or 4 that I did for the first 2.5 years of my practice.
Excellent. So you've kind of had your experience over a lot of different things and you landed on family law. So how has practicing family law changed over time, like since you started to now? What's different and maybe what's the same?
I think one of the biggest changes that I have seen, I would say financial disclosure has become a huge issue, and so specifically, especially as it relates to corporations, the financial information that shareholders, corporate owners have to provide in relation to a marital breakdown or a common law breakdown, it is much more significant than it was even 5 years ago, and certainly it is much more significant than it would have been 15 or 20 years ago. It has become a really important piece for people to ensure that when they are gathering their financial information, these individuals, these business owners, will very likely need the assistance of their corporate accountants to ensure that there is full compliance with their obligations to provide full, accurate, complete financial disclosure.
Right. So there's been a lot of, so you have to cooperate with other disciplines in order to get all the right information in.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the biggest problem you solve for your clients?
Well, it's almost the question almost has a double meaning, because the biggest problem is whatever problem the client brings to the table. That is the biggest problem. May not be the biggest problem from your perspective or from your field of vision, but for them, absolutely, it is their biggest problem. I think the most challenging, if I can rephrase the question,
Sure.
the most challenging problem typically relates to parenting and children. How individuals are going to, in the best case scenarios, co-parent on a go-forward basis, where there is simply that inability to co-parent, what a parenting schedule may look like, what are the roles and responsibilities of those parents over time, how they're going to communicate, if they are going to communicate. Those typically are the most challenging, because they tend to be the most emotional issues for individuals.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. Now, so what do you find is the most rewarding part of practicing family law?
Well, we don't often, often clients will, again, either during my involvement or near the end of my involvement, often will say, boy, you're a great guy, or this is a great office, your staff is fantastic, but I hope I never see you again. So we are creating short-term relationships, and those relationships typically come to an end. So they're very different than, for instance, a corporate commercial client, where you're building that relationship for a very long period of time. That rapport that's being established, that friendship in many instances, simply doesn't exist in the family law realm. But the most rewarding is when you do get some feedback from clients, how appreciative they are of the advice, the direction, leading them through a really difficult period in their lives. And as I say, they are most appreciative of you being there for them feeling like you've got their back, the advice that you've given to them, the support that you've provided to them, that our office has provided to them. That really is the most meaningful.
Excellent. Now, what are some of the traits that you look for the team members to join Miller Boileau Family Law Group? What are you looking for? What's the kind of person that you're trying to attract to grow the firm, to help people, kind of like you and Marla do?
I think first and foremost, it'd probably be attention to detail. Someone has to be, I'm going to say more type A. I know sometimes that has a negative connotation, but in this instance, it really is harping on the details, because the details are extremely important. So I would say first and foremost, it's the details. I think secondly, it would be the individuals need to relate to us, or we need to relate to them. They need to feel comfortable with us and in our office environment, and the advice and direction that we're giving to them. They need to feel confident that we are giving them sound advice and direction.
So there has to be a level of trust.
Absolutely.
And camaraderie. And really, from what I've gathered, just having a relationship with yourself and with Marla, that you guys are really client focused. Like you
very much so.
The client's number one, and you really care about what you do. And it really shows just in the interviews and the short periods of time that we have together. And I think that anybody who wants to join your team has to also carry through those same traits. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. Yeah, absolutely.
So what are some of your plans for growth for the Boileau Family Law Group?
Well, I think in an ideal world, we would like to expand. We'd like to have more lawyers, more support staff. Right now, we are limited in terms of our physical space, but certainly over time, and again, we want the right individual to ideally be approaching us, but it's a challenging question, Trevor, simply because we are going to be very particular in terms of who it is who joins the team. We are particular not only as it relates to a potential lawyer joining our staff and being part of Boileau Family Law Group, but also as it relates to support staff. They have to be team players, team members, and they are as important to the success, if you will, of our office and the comfort that's being provided to a client as a lawyer is.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Pierre, for sharing all of that great information with us. We sure do appreciate it. Learning more about Boileau Family Law Group and how you have grown in the city of Edmonton, providing family law. And if you guys are interested in joining the team, or if you are someone who is in need of an excellent family law lawyer, definitely get in touch with Pierre or Marla or one of the other great lawyers at Boileau Family Law Group, and they'll be glad to help you. And we'll see you guys on the next video.